नमस्कार दर्शकों, आप देख रहे हैं cricket.com और आज हमारे साथ फिर से जुड़ गए हैं दो जिम्बाब्वे के गेस्ट। बट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अ वेरी वेरी हैप्पी इंडिपेंडेंस डे टू यू। आज जिम्बाब्वे का इंडिपेंडेंस डे है एंड हम सब इनको बधाई देते हैं।
Thank you very much. 44 years Zimbabwe has been independent and we celebrate today.
सो 44 साल जिम्बाब्वे की इंडिपेंडेंस के और ये आज सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं। बट मैच की बात शुरू करने से पहले दिस थिंग दैट यू आर वेयरिंग ऑन योर हेड, ये डज दैट रिप्रेजेंट योर इंडिपेंडेंस? व्हाट स्टोरी डज दैट हैव?
Well, it's an African attire.
Okay.
It's particularly for the Zulu and the Ndebele, which are both found in South Africa and Zimbabwe. But since we're celebrating Zimbabwe today, I just thought something that represents Zimbabwe in India.
India.
What's the best thing that can celebrate Zimbabwe in India? And I thought my attire would do.
हाँ, तो जिम्बाब्वे को इंडिया में सेलिब्रेट करने के लिए जो ज़ूलू ट्राइब्स होते हैं, ये उनका एक पहनावा है एंड यही आज पहन के आए हैं एंड वी कंग्रेचुलेट यू एंड वी आर वेरी हैप्पी दैट फॉर 44 इयर्स ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस फॉर जिम्बाब्वे। बट वापस आते हैं, लेट्स कम बैक टू टुडेज मैच। इट्स अ बॉटम ऑफ द टेबल्स मैच, यू नो, जस्ट लाइक टू बैक बेंचर्स फाइट इन द बैक सीट ऑफ द क्लासरूम। सो इट्स अ वेरी सिमिलर मैच। नंबर 8 up against the number 9, Punjab Kings up against the Mumbai Indians. One team started off well, Punjab started off a little well, but then they got off track. On the other hand, Mumbai Indians started very bad. They lost first 3 matches, but then they're back on track. So which team, first of all, which team are you supporting today?
I am so conflicted today. I have no idea what I'm supporting, but I'll be inclined to support Punjab Kings because Sikandar Raza is there. But also the fact that I love Rohit Sharma and Surya Kumar Yadav.
Yeah.
These are my favorite batsmen. So I don't know which one to support. But because of argument's sake, and I will never support whatever team he supports, I'll go for Mumbai Indians.
So ये आज मुंबई इंडियंस की सपोर्ट कर रही हैं and now for obvious reasons you'll support Punjab.
Punjab. Well, not just that, but Punjab, I feel they drew a win at home. I think it's been two games that they haven't won in front of their fans. So I think they finally drew a win. So I think that's what's going to happen today.
Yeah, तो एक तरफ है मुंबई की तरफ, एक है पंजाब की तरफ. But let's come down to the stats. Here are the stats, and stats king and stats queen is with us. So first of all, it's a fast bowling wicket. The average total is 165. So do you think the ball will swing, and what does the stats say?
Well, according to the pitch, whoever wins the toss is more inclined to chase, because bowling first does not really give you an advantage over the other team. So I think maybe if Mumbai Indians, because I'm supporting them, if they win the toss, they would opt to bowl first. And now coming back down to pace or fast bowlers, I feel like Mumbai Indians currently have the worst economy rate of over 35. As compared to Punjab Kings. Punjab Kings have Kagiso Rabada, who's also contesting for the purple cap.
Yeah.
So you understand the levels of bowling.
Kagiso Rabada purple cap की इसमें continue.
Yeah. So now, if you're to compare and contrast both these pace bowlers in this context, Punjab Kings stand a better chance in terms of winning because one, their pace bowlers are more economic. 2, they take wickets for fun. So if Mumbai manages to control maybe their economy rate, maybe they just have a chance.
So इन्होंने जो बताया कि इकोनॉमी रेट के हिसाब से इस सीजन, इन दिस पार्टिकुलर सीजन, पंजाब के बॉलर्स बेटर परफॉर्म करें, बट यू कैन नॉट जस्ट रूल अबाउट बिकॉज द वन मैच अगेंस्ट सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद, मुंबई इंडियंस, बॉलर्स इकोनॉमी रेट जस्ट वेल्ट ऑल ओवर द प्लेस. बट दैट माइट बी द रीजन. बट द स्टैट्स दैट आई कैन सी, द हाईएस्ट रन स्कोरर बिटवीन द टू प्लेयर्स इज Rohit Sharma, and he's the man to look out for today. He scored a century and he's back as he's the Indian captain, and with T20 World Cup coming up, what do you think? Rohit Sharma will he score in this match? Does the wicket support him? And again, she talked about the fast bowlers. There'll be Arshdeep Singh, there'll be Kagiso Rabada, but I don't think Rohit Sharma has any troubles with pace.
No, of course not. And when you're one of the best batsmen in the world, you're going to perform against whoever comes your way.
Correct.
So I think what's particularly interesting, because we did talk about stats now, the last 2 games, the opposition team has won the toss and they opted to send Punjab out to bat first.
Bat first.
And one thing that's interesting now, in the chase, they've got the slowest, particularly in the power play, you've got the slowest run rate. That we've seen in the league.
स्टैट्स हाईलाइट ध्यान से देखिएगा, पंजाब किंग्स जब पहले पावर प्ले में बल्लेबाजी करने आती है, वाइल चेजिंग उनका सबसे खराब रन रेट रहता है, सबसे स्लोएस्ट रहता है. तो पंजाब किंग्स वुड वांट टू विन द टॉस एंड बोल फर्स्ट एंड नॉट गो डू द बैटिंग फर्स्ट.
That's why I said I think they're due a win. So in any case, particularly as we're speaking about Rohit Sharma over there, I think managing that power play is going to be very, very, very key. And if you look at the last two games in particular, we can look perhaps first at RCB. That game, they won it by 4 wickets with only 4 balls left. So it went right down to the final.
Right down, yeah,
and
correct.
And also the same thing with Rajasthan.
Yeah.
Again, down to the final over, this time on the final with 1 ball left. So it will be a tight. It will probably be
a tight match.
Game.
And whenever Punjab Kings plays, the match goes tight. But yes, you know, like I was looking at the stats. I was looking at two young names, Ashutosh Sharma and Shashank Singh. One of these players, Shashank Singh, the Kings 11, the Punjab Kings did not want to buy them. It was a mistaken buy. But yeah, he's been performing well. But again, we talked about it yesterday. He was pushed up the order and he did not perform well. So what should be the strategy for these young players?
I think perhaps for me, I think they just need to steady the ship, right? I think we spoke about how CSK is an example. You just, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Don't fix it.
Try. So those two names you mentioned, they've had to bail out the top order on a number of occasions. That being the case, I think they just have to, just stick to what they've been doing that made them so great. I think now the top order now, that's the challenge that's been sent to them. You're not just going to be letting the youngsters try and save you time and time again, and it's not really.
It's not going to happen.
They rather if you look at their log positions. So.
तो ये बताना चाह रहे हैं, देखिए यंग खिलाड़ी शशांक सिंह, आशुतोष शर्मा, इन पे भरोसा जताना अच्छी बात है, बट ये टूर्नामेंट आपको जिता सकते हैं, लेकिन आपकी कंप्लीट बैटिंग इन पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं होनी चाहिए. आपके बड़े प्लेयर्स को आगे, द बिग प्लेयर्स हैव टू परफॉर्म. एंड नाउ बिग प्लेयर्स, आई विल आस्क यू अबाउट द फॉरेन प्लेयर्स, जॉनी बेरेस्टो एंड लियम लिविंगस्टन. बोथ ऑफ दीज बैट्समैन हैवंट स्कोर्ड this season and they came with a humongous reputation. Johnny Bairstow, back when he played for Sunrisers Hyderabad, had a very fantastic season, but in India I don't think he's ever performed for a lot of time now. So do you think he might come back in form, and if not, then should Punjab Kings replace him?
Okay, so I'll start off with the question that he just answered in terms of the question that he was just talking about right now. So I think maybe the fact that Punjab Kings has the lowest economy rate in terms of power play, but they have the highest in death overs. So now, if your weakness can be your strength, then utilize it. I mean, if you have Shashank and Atubash, I hope I'm pronouncing it well, but if you have those two in death overs striking at over 200, it means they are correcting a mistake that's already done. So it's a weakness that's there, but they can utilize that to their advantage and to their strength. Death overs mainly, maybe bowlers are now missing their limbs, they're a bit tired, it's hot, and all of those things. But then at the same time, it's a strength. They can utilize that weakness to say they haven't been doing well in power play, but they can do well in death overs. So utilize that. As for in terms of the foreign-based players, I don't think it's a challenge with Johnny Bairstow only. I mean, we've seen Glenn Maxwell going back home because he's not in form and mentally he's not there, he's not prepared. And we've seen David Warner struggle, It's not only them, there's Quinton de Kock as well, going out with silly dismissals, really. So I think it's not only the foreign-based players from Punjab Kings. I think overall right now, foreign-based players are just in their weakest or in their lowest. I'm not sure, maybe they're thinking about World Cup, I don't know.
वर्ल्ड कप ये कह रहे हैं, देखिए इन्होंने कई सारे नाम लिए, आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग देम व्हाट यू सेड, उन्होंने कई सारे नाम लिए, क्विंटन डी कॉक का नाम लिया, डेविड वार्नर का नाम लिया इन्होंने. हम जॉनी बेयरस्टो की तो बात कर ही रहे थे कि कैसे फॉरेन बल्लेबाज. एंड ग्लेन मैक्सवेल तो वापस घर चले गए कि वो मेंटली अभी इस सिचुएशन में नहीं है, फॉर्म अच्छी चल नहीं रही है. और बात बहुत ठीक है कि शायद वर्ल्ड कप की प्रिपरेशन की वजह से इनके ऊपर ज़्यादा प्रेशर है. एंड maybe this might somewhere be in the back of their mind. They do not want to give their 100% so that they can save themselves for the T20 World Cup.
And
they don't want
selection.
And they don't want to be prone to any injuries. But yes, I would disagree a very little bit talking about all the foreign players, Sunil Narayan is not kind of a foreign player. He's performing well, and there are foreign players that are performing. The young foreign players are coming in performing. Tristan Stubbs for Delhi Capitals. He's also a South African, and he does not have the experience to play in India. But even still, he has 2 consecutive half centuries. Whereas players like Glenn Maxwell, who've been playing in India for over 10 years now, they are not able to perform. They are struggling.
I'm thinking maybe in the back of their heads also they want to, you know, overperform also, because I mean they are fighting for selection.
They're fighting for selection.
Some of them are fighting for selection or for a sport in their teams.
Yeah.
So obviously that pressure of saying, okay, I need to fight for my spot in the team, I need to fight for the team to win today, but also minimize the mistakes. You know, overthinking sometimes can put can put so much pressure, not only in players, like in us general human beings. We are pressured by. We make mistakes due to pressure. So I think maybe they have too much pressure. World Cup, IPL. IPL is a big stage, man.
Yeah, IPL is a big stage.
You're not only playing for wins, you're entertaining the whole crowd. So that pressure on its own, I think maybe it's playing to their heads. Of course, we have other players performing well. We have McGurk, Jake Fraser-McGurk. He's performing quite well. He's been opening with sixes, rather.
Yeah.
It shows you the kind of form that he's in. But then if you're to look at the other senior players, these are senior players, most of them, not all of them, but most of the senior players who represent their countries in the World Cup, they have so much pressure and they're underperforming.
हाँ, तो ये देखिए प्रेशर है T20 वर्ल्ड कप का. IPL के जस्ट खत्म होते ही T20 वर्ल्ड कप शुरू है एंड टीम के सिलेक्शन पैनल्स की नज़र का है कि इफ यू परफॉर्म वेल इन द IPL you'll get your place in the team, and IPL is the biggest stage. The teams here might be even better than international teams and there's no doubt about that. लेकिन ये बात आपको याद रखनी है कि वो IPL पे शायद फोकस कर रहे हैं. IPL पे फोकस इसलिए कर रहे हैं ताकि उनकी नेशनल टीम्स उनको सेलेक्ट कर सके, एंड इसी वजह से बड़े बड़े खिलाड़ी परफॉर्म नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. एंड द प्लेयर्स दैट हैव नथिंग टू लूज लाइक Jake, who the chances of selection are quite less. He'll not be there for the Australian national team. Those are the ones that are performing. लेकिन ये इन्होंने बहुत अच्छी बात बताई. शायद वो प्रेशर की वजह से हट जाए, वो प्रेशर की वजह से एंगल है. But coming back to the match, and now you know Surya Kumar Yadav, the impact players, the players that you know are going to score big, the Indian players. What do you think? Surya Kumar Yadav, he came back after an injury for the first 3 matches. Mumbai Indians lost. He went for a duck, but in his second match of comeback, he scored 50 runs out of just 20 balls. So do you think he will have an impact today? And even I would like to know your opinion about Mohammad Nabi. You know, Mumbai Indians is selecting him and playing him, and I don't think that he fits there. Like, you know, he's not being used to his full. Neither does he bowl his full quota of 4 overs, nor does he get to bat up till, you know, 6. So what's his point? What could be the role of having Mohammad Nabi in the team? First Surya Kumar, then Mohammad Nabi.
Alright, so Kumar, I think, well, as with anything, when you come from a long layoff, it does take a bit of time for you to find the form. And you rightfully pointed it out that, okay, perhaps he had the duck, and then he kind of brought it back out now.
Yeah.
So I think in today's game in particular, he's going to have quite a big say in perhaps in the outcome of this game. I think we already said this is going to be a wicket that favors the batters, and we know that that's something up in his arsenal. So with that being said, I think he's just got to have his head done right, and also just about how is he going to face that onslaught that's going to be coming at him, because again we can't say that you know, it's circumstantially, right? Any other team, yes, maybe, but then now when you're facing again the likes of Rabada coming at you full force, you never quite know how it's going to go, so he's going to have to be on his game. Then for the second question, it was for
Mohammad Nabi.
For Nabi. Fit is a big thing in cricket. I think some of us have known. I think let's just look at it at a macro level.
Yeah.
We're talking about players who perhaps are batting a little lower down the order, and based on their form, should they go up, and then they go up, and then it doesn't quite work out for whatever reasons. Maybe it's the pressure, maybe it's the circumstances. I think with Nabi as well, you're looking at the spotlight, because you know the royal teams in the IPL. You know, you're looking at CSK, you're looking at Mumbai. Those types of teams, they're going to have the spotlight on you a whole lot brighter. I know I'm probably going to talk about Mr. Hardik Pandya just now. That's also another one. It just goes to show you when you move, sometimes it just doesn't quite work out the way that you want it to work out. I think for him, well, for the selectors anyway, when it comes to retention and who's going to continue next season, I think he's probably going to be one of the names up there. So let's just see what happens in the rest of the season.
सो उन्होंने बताया कि कैसे मोहम्मद नाबी को फिट बैठने की बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात होती है, एंड सूर्य कुमार यादव के बारे में बताया कि कैसे उन्होंने फॉर्म बहुत जल्दी पकड़ ली. बट यू मेंशन द प्लेयर दैट वाज अबाउट टू बी माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, एंड द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज शॉट एट यू. हार्दिक पांड्या, Hardik Pandya has yet not performed, and according to reports, if he has to go to the Indian team, he has to bowl well. Ajit Agarkar, the chief selector, he says only as a batsman, Hardik Pandya doesn't deserve to be in the T20 squad for India. So what do you think about it? And his bowling has not been up to the mark. His batting has been, strike rate wise, almost the worst in the batsmen that are there. So the captaincy pressure is there, the pressure that's going around the dressing room. Rohit Sharma as a senior player, all of the things you're very well aware of. हम भी जानते हैं, आप भी जानते हैं क्या हो रहा है हार्दिक पांड्या के साथ. But when will the performance come, or is this the place? Should he promote himself up? Should he bowl with the new ball? What different should Hardik Pandya do to actually make a mark and announce himself as the captain?
So before I go deeper into the question, I saw somewhere where Rohit was quoted in terms of, now that I do not have enough or pressure as a captain, I can perform well.
Yeah.
Now we've seen that in real time. We've seen that because he doesn't have the pressure of a captain, he's been performing well. He has a century to his name. He is the highest the highest run getter right now in IPL, and he's just short of 350. Today is his 350th game. So that shows you he has so much experience. Even if he's given the captain cap, I feel like he will handle it with ease because he has so much experience. But unlike Hardik, I can say I'm the biggest critic of Hardik Pandya.
तो कोट तो ये हार्दिक पांड्या के सबसे बड़े क्रिटिक हैं. हार्दिक पांड्या को अब देखना क्या कहने वाले हार्दिक पांड्या की जमकर इन डिटेल उनकी प्लेयर्स उतारेंगे क्या. प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
So I would really love to see him perform and be the best in his abilities, because we know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
But he's not doing that right now. I think maybe he mentioned the issue of spotlight. He mentioned, being a captain, being in the spotlight, and your team is not performing well, and yet you have premium quality batsmen. Something is wrong. And because of that, he gets pressure not only from the fans, I'm pretty sure administration is also giving him pressure. So that on its own, it plays in his mind, and now he's not bowling to take wickets, he's not bowling to get the batsman out, but he's bowling with so much pressure to say, okay, my team is underperforming in terms of bowling, let me just reduce the run rate.
Yeah.
So his mind is not only fixated in performing in his best of ability.
ये एक बहुत बड़ी रेवोल्यूशन है कि हार्दिक पांड्या की परफॉर्मेंस इसलिए अप टू द मार्क नहीं आ रही है बिकॉज प्रेशर बहुत ज़्यादा है. इट्स नॉट अबाउट कि वो बैटिंग करना भूल गए हैं या बॉलिंग करना भूल गए हैं, बट द थिंग दैट शी पॉइंटेड आउट इज जब वो बॉलिंग डालने जा रहे हैं, जब वो बॉल करने जा रहे हैं, तो उनके दिमाग में ये नहीं चल रहा कि मैं बैट्समैन को आउट कैसे करूँ. उनके दिमाग में चल रहा है कि यार कप्तानी का प्रेशर है, टीम की मैनेजमेंट मुझे क्या कहेगी, क्या मैं रोहित को सही से रिप्लेस कर पाया कि नहीं कर पाया. ये सारे सवाल जब दिमाग में घूमते ना, then it is when the performance does not come, and तभी उनकी bowling में भी wickets नहीं आ रही हैं. But the line length has to be better. I think Hardik Pandya should just get back to the basics, go hit the shots that like he used to. And even in batting, he's not batting freely. Hardik Pandya was always the batsman, the finisher for India, the batsman who always batted freely. So I think you've pointed out it out really well that he's under pressure, and that's precisely the reason he's not able to score big runs or either take wickets with the ball. But now I'll ask you, it's Zimbabwe's Independence Day, and there's a Zimbabwean player in the Punjab Kings side. He's Sikandar Raza. And do you know any other player who's played in the IPL from Zimbabwe? It's a trick question for you.
Oh, I'm gonna say it's in the table.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, for you?
He was there, but I don't think he had game time, but he came.
He came. Another one. You're missing one name. The ex-Zimbabwean captain.
Ex-Zimbabwean captain.
Which one now?
Brendan Taylor?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he did play the IPL. He played for a couple of teams.
Okay.
And he also had the match. Like he performed fairly well. I think he played for the Kolkata Knight Riders. I don't remember it. But yeah, Brendan Taylor हुआ करते थे Zimbabwe के कप्तान, and Zimbabwe का Independence Day इसलिए आज उनको mention कर दिया. But Zimbabwe के Sikandar Raza, do you think Sikandar Raza might play today? No? Well,
in as much as I'm very patriotic and I would support my homeboy left, right and centre, Liam Livingstone, the person whom, if he's injured, Sikandar Raza comes in for, is in his best form right now. He's taking wickets, he's giving up runs. So I don't think he stands a chance right now. considering the fact that he was given 2 chances, yes, he performed, but I can't say to his best also. He is not also in his individual best. So if you had to compare the two, and obviously because the team needs wickets and runs at the same time, yes, Sikandar Raza is an all-rounder, but he hasn't given them wickets. On the other hand, Livingstone has. So they go for the option who has given them runs and wickets at the same time.
So ठीक है, आज सिकंदर रजा नहीं खेलेंगे, ऐसा इन्हीं का मानना है, because Liam Livingstone stands a better chance and they need that kind of fiery power. But that was my question again. Johnny Bairstow, Liam Livingstone are not performing. Players like Sikandar Raza, who have performed for Punjab Kings in the previous season, is sitting outside. So do you think now this is a question, that do you think in IPL teams, go for the reputation, they back players from the reputation and not for the performance, especially when it comes to foreign players?
I would say so, because there's a lot at stake. And still speaking of Sikandar Raza, and we can just speak from first-hand experience from seeing all the time.
Yeah.
Reputation. Sikandar Raza, he will give you a brilliant match from time to time, but
Correct.
sometimes he can overthink it, he can overplay his shots, and that's ultimately his downfall. So when you're playing in the IPL, when you've got so much to play for, the reputation with Raza, unless perhaps there's not much to play for, or really everybody's truly in dire situation, or injury should I say, then it's unlikely that he's going to get in. But to answer your question, yes, reputation does matter a lot. It's going to take something like a David Warner practically taking himself out for him not to be selected, because the money that you paid for him, and because you can imagine the pressure that's on the team. Now imagine if David Warner stayed and he then gets benched. How much money was he paid for? Why is he sitting on the bench? The administrators, the coaches, everybody's now on the fire.
Everywhere.
So it's tough.
तो देखिए भैया, आईपीएल की जब बात आती है ना, तो दाम भी आपको देखने मिलता है. आप किसी को 15 करोड़ का खरीद के बाहर नहीं बिठा सकते हैं, एंड इसीलिए रेपुटेशन मैटर करती है. तो कई बार टैलेंट अलग रह जाता है. फॉरेन का प्लेयर का भी टैलेंट जो आता है, क्योंकि देखिए इंडियन प्रीमियर लीग ना स्टेज है सिर्फ इंडियन प्लेयर्स के लिए नहीं है. यहाँ पे फॉरेन प्लेयर्स को भी आके रिकग्निशन मिलती है. देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ फॉरेन प्लेयर्स दैट हैव गेन्ड रिकग्निशन फ्रॉम आईपीएल इटसेल्फ एंड देन हैव स्कोर्ड बेटर फॉर देयर respective national teams. There are players that did not debut for their teams. They played in the IPL and then they went to debut for their national teams, their respective national teams. But again, Ishan Kishan is someone that I want to talk. Mumbai has a very heavy batting. Ishan Kishan, Tilak Verma, what do you think? Who is the player to watch out for? Who's the youngster that you have to watch out for?
If you to look at both of these two players, Ishan Kishan has been given so much chances for India, but at the time when India needed him the most, he did not perform. As for Tilak Verma, he's been phenomenal, guys. I mean, a few bad games does not cancel out what you have already done. So with both of them, I can't say I can compare them, because they're two different players who offer two different things.
Yeah.
But if I'm to be put on a spot to choose one, I would choose Tilak. Why? Because he will give you enough runs, or you can surely trust him.
And does Tilak Verma also deserve to be the national side for India in T20 World Cup?
He does, because I mean, at the time when you need him the most.
तो देखिए बड़ी रेवोल्यूशन है कि ईशान किशन से ज़्यादा प्रेफरेंस तिलक वर्मा को दी जा सकती है, because of the reason of,
well, because he's going to save the squad, the team. If there are runs needed, you can sort of like trust and believe that
he's more dependable. Ishan Kishan is more aggressive, but Tilak Verma is more dependable. देखिए ईशान किशन से बड़े चौके छक्के आप एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं, पर जब डिपेंडेबिलिटी की बात आ जाएगी तो तिलक वर्मा आपको बेटर ऑप्शन दे सकते हैं. एंड the Indian team definitely needs some left-handed batsmen with only Jaiswal up the order, and then you have straight away Jadeja.
In terms of having Jaiswal, I mean, we haven't even talked about how bad his performance is so far in the IPL.
In the IPL.
His highest is 39?
Yeah.
I think that's his highest right now.
Half tournament and haven't scored a half century
yet.
yet.
I'm not sure. Maybe he might help, or maybe you may help. But in terms of who is going to replace him as an opener, because T20 cricket right now needs explosive openers.
Correct.
You need to get somewhere around 50 or above 50 in power play. And right now, if Jaiswal is a walking wicket, then it's not going to help. So who in the IPL right now would you suggest as an opener?
Yeah, in IPL right now. But now I think it's time to come to the last segment of our match today. We'll do the match predictions, what is going to be the pass score, and then the teams that you're supporting in the local language. We're gonna give a message to the audience.
No,
Okay.
the last time I had this, I lost. It was Gujarat Titans, guys.
So it was yesterday only. Delhi win. We were towards Delhi. Yeah.
Yep.
Give me a high five for that. You know,
Come on,
lady.
guys.
We
I need
bet
love from you guys. You do not have love from me.
But yeah, today you're supporting Mumbai Indians. So first of all, time for prediction. What is going to be the score and who's going to win the match?
Mumbai, of course. Mumbai is going to win. But in terms of score, I feel like it's going to be a very high scoring match. We are looking at probably 190 to 200. If it depends on how the power play runs out or pans out. If power play goes according to plan for Mumbai Indians, then rest assured we're going to have a 200 plus score.
Okay, and what about you?
I'm going to trust the Punjab bowling unit.
Bowling unit.
I think they're going to probably keep it a little lower than that. I am predicting somewhere around 180. And of course,
180, 200.
180 to 100. Yeah. And I think also as well, on top of that, winning the toss is going to be too good. But at the same time, like I said before, they drew a win. They lost the toss both occasions. I think they probably learned enough of their lessons now about coming out and trying to be aggressive and getting runs on the board.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think that's going to be key to the game anyway. Can the Punjab bowling unit limit Mumbai?
So Punjab की bowling unit Mumbai को limit करेगी. But since you're supporting Mumbai Indians today, I'm gonna ask you to sing. They have this. The tagline they have is "they दुनिया हिला देंगे." So that means that they're gonna shake the world. And before that, you have to say "आमची Mumbai, दुनिया हिला देंगे."
Amchi Mumbai and then what?
दुनिया हिला देंगे. You go first. आमची Mumbai,
Amchi Mumbai,
दुनिया हिला देंगे.
Amchi Mumbai. And then you finish. I promise, guys, for the
नहीं you try. दुनिया
Dunya,
हिला
Hila,
देंगे.
Ding.
So मुंबई इंडियंस दुनिया हिला पाते हैं ऐसे इनकी तरह अटक अटक के वो भी चलते हैं. But I have a very interesting for you for one. You have to say चक दे फट्टे.
Chuck the party.
चक दे फट्टे.
Chuck the party.
So
That was easy though. It's not fair.
those were two different languages.
Oh, yes.
That was in Punjabi, and the first word you said was in Marathi, and the other word was in Punjab. So now I think आज हमने सारी डिस्कशन कर लिया है. ये है मुंबई की तरफ, ये है पंजाब किंग्स की तरफ, और मैं आज किसकी तरफ जाऊं? आज my heart says that I have to go towards Mumbai. Always respect the ladies. But today, I'm sorry, no, I'm going to go with my head. I want to see a new winner this time. So I'm also supporting Punjab Kings, and I do believe likewise in the bowling unit of Punjab, just like Agisho Rabada, Arshdeep Singh, the likes of these two fast bowlers. And I'm supporting Punjab Kings today, but there's one thing that's sure shot, that the match is going to be interesting. It might be a last ball thriller, and whenever we see Punjab Kings in the match, you know it's a last ball thriller. But आप ऐसे ही देखते रहिए cricket.com. नमस्कार.